Joining me now, Ed Rollins, Republican strategist, former White House political director, CNN contributor. Miguel Perez, syndicated columnist, professor, Lehman College, CNN contributor. Mark Halperin, editor-at-large, senior political analyst, Time Magazine. Robert Zimmerman, Democratic strategist, CNN contributor. And let me start with you, Robert. A two-vote margin in the dark of night in the House of Representatives. Generally, our Dana Bash reporting it's dead on arrival in the Senate. What's the point?
The point is simply this. First of all, it would have been significantly more votes it could have been 10 to 15 more votes if they were needed. And I think it's really a tribute to Speaker Pelosi's leadership and her team's ability to know just what they needed without putting any of her at-risk freshman members of Congress at jeopardy.
You're saying they just covered those 39 Democrats? That's what they were doing?
I think they gave
cynical.
No, that's the legislative process. But as far as being dead on arrival, that's nonsense. Certainly parts of the bill are not going to prevail be accepted by the Senate, prevail in conference. That's a legislative process.
So no problem. The president gets the bill for a signature.
I've been saying it for months.
What did you say about the August 1st deadline?
I didn't comment on the August 1st deadline.
Miguel, what are your thoughts?
Well, Harry Reid seems to be willing to wait until next year already. So, because again, they're going to keep prolonging this thing until the Democrats feel like they have the vote. That now they may wait forever because, in fact, the House version of the bill obviously is not satisfactory in many, many ways to the Senate. So we'll see.
You just heard Matthew Hoh, a foreign policy professional, and before that, a United States Marine Corps captain, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, who resigned in protest of what the civilian leadership is not doing in Afghanistan. How important is this decision to Barack Obama, and is there any possibility that he will take into account Captain Ho's resignation and begin withdrawing troops rather than adding them?
I hope that it is taken into account. I'm the one who's been predicting that Obama is going to surprise us all and say he's really, you know, if he pulls in some troops, it will be only temporary and as a way to pull out, because obviously the reason why the administration is taking this long, Lou, is because they're looking for a way out of the war.
Do you agree?
No, I don't. There are reports swirling around us that in fact, he's going to give General McChrystal a lot of what he was looking for. Look, this is a campaign promise of Barack Obama that this is an important war, and it is going through this process. There have been many more voices at the table arguing that more troops need to go in, that disregarding history and other countries' problems in Afghanistan is necessary.
Malik Hassan, Malik Hassan, the major charged with those awful murders and shootings at Fort Hood. There is now a cry going up because people are refusing to talk about even the possibility that it was a terrorist act, even as information is being revealed that shows connections, even though they be tangential, to al-Qaeda and to radical elements of the Islamic religion. Your thoughts?
There are 2 imperatives that the president and Congress must lead on. One is to have not only a thorough investigation, but one that is as transparent as possible so the American people don't jump to conclusions or have suspicions. And the other is that this does not lead to prejudice or ill treatment, not just of Muslims in the military, but in the country at large. That's a balancing act, but it's imperative they both be done.
Imperative that both be done. We heard General George Casey yesterday here on CNN actually saying that he doesn't want to acknowledge that they missed anything in the Army. That's with 13 soldiers lying dead and 29 others lying wounded as a result. This is an act of terrorism, whatever else it is. Why is there such an aversion, and why should the American people be judged to be incapable of a discrete judgment as to what is radical Islamist terror and what is the Muslim religion? Isn't that a bit condescending, even on the part of the national media?
Well, there's a complication here. There's a crime that's been committed allegedly by an American citizen. So part of the constraint is based on that. It's not clear what jurisdiction will prevail here. I think, again, it's got to be as transparent as possible because we don't want people jumping to conclusions, and we never want the government to be in a position where it either is lying or appears to be lying.
Well, the issue that I make with it, and obviously we don't know all the facts other than the fact that this man murdered great Americans, but the refusal of the intelligent community to basically cooperate with the Congress and give them the information, I think, is absurd, and that occurred in the last day.
We're going to talk more about that as we continue. Why is there a divide between our intelligence agencies, our military, and what are the responsibilities of the national media? And when did it take up behavioral science as a cause célèbre. We'll be right back.
My sunglasses.
People say I'm forgetful. Maybe that's why we go to so many memorable places.
Love the road you're on. The all-new Subaru Outback. Motor Trend's 2010 Sport Utility of the Year.
They've done it again. DirecTV will soon have the capacity for over 200 HD channels.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you said 200.
I did.
Son of a... What is it with those guys?
For a future of over 200 HD channels, call 1-800-DIRECTV.
It's 5 free at Joseph A. Bank. Buy a suit, get a second suit, plus 2 dress shirts and 2 silk ties absolutely free. That's any suit. Buy 1, get 5 items free. Buy just 1 suit, get a second suit, 2 dress shirts, 2 silk ties absolutely free. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday only at Joseph A. Bank.
CNN Tonight.
The shot could come from anywhere, anytime. It was 23 days of terror. See how the story unfolded.
October Terror, CNN Tonight. The greatest film saga of all time and the greatest film music ever composed come together in a spectacular live event. Star Wars in concert, featuring the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra, massive high-def screens, original movie props. Relive the saga as never before. Friday, November 20th at Izod Center. For tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com now.
Big luxury, teeny price. Book a Greater Fort Lauderdale vacation now.
This is CNN.
No decision looms larger, both in terms of attention and import to the country, than Afghanistan. What will the president decide, Robert?
I agree with the speculation out there that he's going to commit a certain number of troops, between 20 and 34,000. The bigger point, however, is this. He has to outline a very clear agenda and a time frame for how these troops are going to be used and their goals and objectives. My great concern is we're not going to accomplish the mission against al-Qaeda with just troop deployment.
The critical thing, I think, is the most important decision he makes. He has to protect the men and women who are there, who are basically taking tremendous casualties today. I don't disagree with the long term. I just think he can't do this half-assed. If you're going to stay there, basically make sure we have the adequate troops. If you're not going to stay there, let's get the heck out.
What do you think, Mark?
I think it'd be great if he can do this with bipartisan support. That has been in short supply. There are a lot of Republicans who favor...
Did you say bipartisan support?
Yes. There are a lot of Republicans who favor the kind of robust introduction of troops that it appears he's headed towards. It would be great if this could be a truly bipartisan decision and reinforcement, because that's been the country's interest.
Not a chance. No matter what he does on this, the Republicans will still find ways. The Republican Congress will find ways to criticize him on it.
The problem's going to be on your side, Robert.
I agree.
You're the anti-war party.
It will never be enough for the Republican Party. And the bigger problem is it can truly hurt his domestic agenda.
Well, the good news is we see that bipartisanship already at work here at this very table. Right. Political correctness. What's going on here, Miguel?
In the case of Fort Hood, where I, by the way, have a cousin whose husband is now in Iraq, and she was paranoid the other day when this whole thing happened. Look, in the case of Fort Hood, we have to stop this political correctness. We have to ask our fellow Islamic Americans, Muslim Americans, to step up and to, recognize our division in this country between church and state. In this case, mosque and state. We have to step up and say, look, they have to condemn this in no uncertain terms right now.
And I think we should point out, too, that for the first time in my memory in 8 years, we have seen quickly CARE step up on the day of these shootings. The largest representative of the Islamic faith in this country step up and condemn the shootings instantly. The imam in Falls Church, which is where Major Hassan was connected 8 years ago, immediately he condemned both the shooter and the act itself.
We need more of that, though, Lou.
I agree, 100%. Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. Up at the top of the hour, Campbell Brown. Campbell,